So today I received a news article from a client via text, and I love receiving news articles from my clients because it tells me what's on their mind. And I found this particular news article very interesting. It's from the Washington Post. It's talking about Social Security, the Social Security Administration, and DOGE. If you haven't been paying attention to the news recently, DOGE has basically been going through different government departments and reducing efficiency, mass firing people, tearing out of systems, basically going in and doing what Elon Musk did to Twitter. Well, with Social Security, there have been a lot of people who have been fired. There have been a lot of systems that are not functioning, and people are getting very, very nervous. So, what do I think of Social Security and what is happening, and what advice am I giving my clients, friends, and family about Social Security? Stay with me. So the first thing I would say, and anytime you see an event happening in the news media that is in regards to your finances, whether it's pandemics, administration changes, or DOGE, is don't panic. The reason why I always say that as a financial advisor is because panic often puts people in a different mindset, and people make terrible decisions when they are panicked. I get calls from clients that they want to turn everything into gold, or they want to take all their cash out of the market now and put it underneath their bed or bury it in their backyard. I've never heard a good decision come out of panic. You want to be very concerned. You want to pay attention to what's going on. You want to take action if action is needed, but don't approach a situation like what is going on with the Social Security Administration and DOGE with panic. Inform yourself about it. Pay attention to what's going on. Be alarmed and be concerned, but don't panic. The second thing I would say is make sure that you are actually eligible for Social Security. Very strange thing to say, but if you are not baby boomer or silent generation, you are not drawing Social Security benefits potentially yet. There are certain classifications of jobs that do not pay into the Social Security system, and oftentimes the individual working the job does not know that they do not pay into the Social Security system. For example, out of graduate school, I worked 2 years for the state of Louisiana. State of Louisiana opted out of Social Security many years ago. And so for those 2 years of work that I did for the state of Louisiana, I received no credit for Social Security or Medicare. Also, you may work for an employer that is paying into Social Security, but you may not have worked in that job long enough. In order to be eligible for Social Security, you need 40 quarters of work or 10 years of work. So you have to work in the United States in a job that pays into Social Security at bare minimum 10 years to be eligible. If you do it 9.5 years, you're not eligible. If you're working for a state system or an entity that doesn't pay into Social Security, you may not be eligible. How do you find out if you are eligible for Social Security? There is a nifty government website that is available for the time being, security.gov. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later in the video, but if you want to know if you're eligible for Social Security, go to that website and please make sure it's the correct website and it's not a spoofed website, because it does have a lot of personal data and personal information. Read the eligibility requirements for Social Security, and you can actually create a login and see what information the government has documented for you for Social Security. You can also take a look at your pay stubs. You can see if there are deductions being made for Social Security and Medicare. If it's not being deducted from your paycheck, that means that the job that you are currently in is not paying into Social Security. If you have follow-on questions about that, you can talk to their HR team to find out how and why, and if they are making contributions to Social Security or if they're part of a separate system that does not participate in Social Security. So the third thing that I would say is you should immediately go to security.gov, create a login, and look at your most recent Social Security statement. Now, I advise this for clients irrespective of what is going on in the government or with DOGE. And I advise my clients to do this on a yearly basis after they pay the IRS their taxes. Why after they pay their taxes? The Social Security Administration gets the information directly from the IRS, and it takes about a week or so after you have paid your taxes and after IRS has accepted payment or accepted your return for that information to appear on your Social Security statement. So if you haven't paid your 2024 taxes now and you pull up a statement on my security.gov, the 2024 information will not be populated. But if you have paid your taxes and it has been accepted by the IRS, you will see a 2024 amount in on that statement. And I'll do a whole separate video on reviewing a Social Security statement and what it all means, because it's a lot of information. But basically, you need to be checking that statement annually to make sure the information that is being recorded by the Social Security Administration, especially in terms of earnings, is accurate. If they're not recording your earnings, you're missing an important year to build towards being eligible for Social Security. Social Security also looks at your top 35 years of earnings. So if you're earning good money or decent money and it's not showing up, you're missing out on a potential bump in Social Security that will impact you in retirement. I have had clients who have found mistakes on their Social Security statement, and there is a phone number there that you can call to get that corrected. But it's much easier to correct the mistake the same year, 2024 or 2023, than it is to correct a mistake that happened 15 to 20 years ago. Why? Well, because oftentimes you have to prove to the Social Security Administration that you did work, you did have earned income, and exactly what that earned income was. And if you need to go back to 2004 to find a tax return that has that information, you probably don't have that information. Most Americans probably don't have that information, and it's just lost forever. So for that reason, I really encourage people to pull their Social Security statement on an annual basis, review it, make sure it's accurate and up to date, and the information is current. The reason why I'm really encouraging people to do it now is because DOGE. Elon Musk and his DOGE team don't seem to be the most responsible coalition of people with people's data. And if something absolutely catastrophic happens, half the US population's Social Security history and earnings is deleted, you will at least have that paper document so that your earnings history could be recreated in the system. So after this video, I would do this NOW now, go to mysocialsecurity.gov, create a login, get your statement, save it to your computer, print it out, and keep the statement somewhere safe, and do that every single year. The fourth thing I would say with Social Security is, especially for my younger clients, and when I say younger clients, I mean people who are 45 and under, I typically do retirement projections with and without Social Security. If you're baby boomer or silent generation, you're already receiving Social Security and it's not as much of a concern. Well, now it's becoming a concern, but it's usually not as much as a concern. But if you are younger, if you are 45 and younger, just to put safety of mind, I do retirement projections with and without Social Security. And doing retirement projecting without Social Security is pretty grim for everyone. Unless you have millions with an S saved, retirement becomes really dicey or impossible without Social Security. So even if you have done an excellent job saving all of your life for retirement and think that you are going into retirement with millions of dollars, therefore you have no need for Social Security, you better think again, because Social Security is the underpinning of everyone's retirement. And if you remove that pillar of support, very few people can make it comfortably in retirement without financial struggle. So there you have it from a financial perspective, financial advisor's perspective, what is happening and what I would do about what DOGE is doing to the Social Security Administration. Don't panic. Make sure you are indeed eligible for Social Security. Check your Social Security statement, save it and print it off, and make sure that you always run your retirement projections with and without Social Security. I do believe that there will be changes to Social Security for people my own age. It's likely coming within the next decade. I do a whole other video on what those changes will likely be. But if you found this information useful, please like, please share, and please subscribe. Thank you.